This big crowd here at Savage Arena is going to be important for them here in this ballgame.
Opening tip is snagged by Canisius. They're in the road blue uniforms. Toledo in the home whites. We mentioned Patterson-Ricks already having a sensational start to her senior season, averaging just north of 18 points a game. Tiana Pugh, the only other Golden Griffin, averaging in double figures at 10.3 points per contest. And Danielle Sanderlin, the junior, is their leading rebounder at 6.5 per game. Opening possession ends in a turnover, a steal, and a layup for Kanea Beecham. On the starting five for the Rockets, along with Rokinen starting at the 4 with Santucci, the point guard.
This big crowd here at Savage Arena is going to be important for them here in this ballgame.
Opening tip is snagged by Canisius. They're in the road blue uniforms. Toledo in the home whites. We mentioned Patterson-Ricks already having a sensational start to her senior season, averaging just north of 18 points a game. Tiana Pugh, the only other Golden Griffin, averaging in double figures at 10.3 points per contest. And Danielle Sanderlin, the junior, is their leading rebounder at 6.5 per game. Opening possession ends in a turnover, a steal, and a layup for Kanea Beecham. On the starting five for the Rockets, along with Rokinen starting at the 4 with Santucci, the point guard, Nakia Black, and the freshman, Quenisha Lockett.
Good start for Toledo defensively. Beecham get out in that passing, and you saw her full stride to the rim and finish. Good start by the Rockets on the defensive end.
Both teams do struggle with turnovers. They both average about 16 per game. Sanderlin will be allowed to take that shot. The Rockets won't mind giving that to her as often as she wants to take it. Pugh grabbed the rebound, but she was standing on the baseline. 5 straight defeats for the Golden Griffins. Their only win coming over St. Bonaventure, a Big Four rival of theirs. Toledo, in the meantime, coming off of a thrilling 66-65 win over Pacific out in Las Vegas. As Quenisha Lockett buries the 3. Check down a long 2 and a 4-0 start for Toledo.
Well, Toledo, when you got to build off the progress. You were 2-2 on the road. Big win against Pacific, who took UCLA and Oregon State to the wire. Got to build off of that here this afternoon. Offensive consistency, always a work in progress with this young club. Try to find 3 or 4 players getting double figures and make Patterson-Ricks one-dimensional. A great scorer does it in a lot of different ways. Make her a jump shooter. Make sure she doesn't get second and third chance opportunities.
Mariella Santucci eyes a 3, couldn't bank it home, and the rebound is grabbed by DJ Patterson-Ricks. Tiana Pugh with a bucket last time up the floor for Canisius. And that's another Golden Griffins turnover. As we pointed out already, they do struggle with those. Another jumper on the way for Lockett. That is a line drive. As the bodies hit the floor, Beecham got taken out. She's slow getting back to her feet.
And for Canisius entering this ballgame, establish early confidence. It's been tough sledding at a 1-7 to start this season. You want to get off to a good start early in this game. Defend the paint, make Toledo one-dimensional, make them a jump shooting team instead of being able to keep the defense on the hills with the multiple ways of scoring the basketball. And complementary scoring, only 2 players in double figures. You get that 3rd and 4th player in double figures, it'll go well for now. If you're confident with your chances for success here this afternoon.
Can't stay on your heels, got to stay on your toes when Mariella Santucci is driving to the basket. A missed bank from DJ Patterson-Ricks. Lockett, well short. And Nakia Black was held up by Andia Ziegler, a junior from Buffalo. There is Scott Hemmer in his 2nd season as the head coach at Canisius. Made the kind of jump that you don't see terribly often among coaches. Came from the Division III ranks straight to D1. He spent 11 years at SUNY Geneseo in New York. Ended his tenure there with 6 consecutive 20-win seasons. And if Nakia Black is knocking down jumpers like that, look out.
Yeah, like we said in the open, 3 out of her last 4 ball games, she's been in double figures, 2 of those with 20-plus point variety. Look, she's a leading scorer coming back from the season ago. She's been up and down in the non-conference schedule, but it's caught fire here of late. And if she can continue that progress through conference play, it's going to bode well for this club, because the young players on this club are getting better and better, and they're showing some signs of being able to score the basketball consistently. But it all starts with the leadership of Nakia Black, Mariella Santucci, and Kanea Beecham as veteran players.
Nice move by Tiana Pugh to score at the other end for Canisius. Lexi Lance in the game, teeing up Sarah Rokinen on the inside, who couldn't finish.
Toledo's done a good job of finding the open area inside that 1-2-2 zone, and Rokinen there just missed the shot, but high quality shot.
Pugh has scored a couple of buckets against Sarah Rokinen already. Here's Sanderlin working on Lance. The spinning jumper wouldn't drop.
See Lexi Lance getting some early run here in this ball game. Someone who early on in the non-conference, we didn't see a lot of her, but as of late has gotten more minutes. She's taken advantage of it. Just good, solid, quality minutes, maintaining pace of play. In fact, in the last ball game, 2 games ago against Troy, she had 4 points and 7 rebounds. That's what you need from those players coming off the bench, is maintaining that high level of play and being productive, specifically on the defensive end.
Got a good look at Coach Culliff a moment ago. Wonderful young freshman. Driving bucket, Molly Morgan Elliott, someone who started the first 9 games of the season for Coach Culliff, now coming off the bench. Morgan Elliott in along with Sophia Wired, another freshman. And a third freshman still, Soleil Barnes, number 4. Good outside shooter, somebody who can stretch defenses, and just the threat of her shooting has made her teammates a bit better, though she's only knocked down 21% of her threes so far this season. There's Sanderlin driving on Lance and scores.
Sanderlin able to get to her strong hand and get all the way to the rim on Lance. You talk about the number of freshmen, you got 3 of them on the floor right now. This is a freshman class that has a very high upside. They have very high basketball IQs.
Kaya Black, a jumper from the free throw line. She's made her first couple of shots.
Just on the comment on those freshmen, they process things and pick up things very quickly. And as they're getting adjusted here to Division I college basketball, you've seen their games grow here at the end of non-conference play.
That's Anna Sweeney, number 4, senior from Erie, PA, setting up Patterson-Ricks, who knocks down the 3. And a whistle. Angie Enlund stopping it as Lexi Lance got to her feet. That'll bring us to the first media timeout. 4:19 remaining in the opening quarter. Last game of 2019 for Toledo and Canisius. The Rockets off to a fast start. Up. Angie Enlund stopping it as Lexi Lance got to her feet. That'll bring us to the first media timeout. 4:19 remaining in the opening quarter. Last game of 2019 for Toledo and Canisius. The Rockets off to a fast start, up 13-9.
Along with the young freshman Kanisha Lockett. So off to a good start. A variety of people engaged and active so far early for the Rockets.
Trisha Culp going even deeper into her bench. Tatiana Davis, number 12, has checked in. She started 7 games this year, and great to see Ariane Whitaker back in the fray. She missed the last 3 games for Toledo with a concussion. And she's fouled inside as she got the entry pass. That's the first on Tiana Pugh. Davis off the inbound. She has really struggled offensively of late in her last 5 games, averaging just 4 points per contest and shooting below 30%.
And I think that's one area of her game, though, in totality has improved from a season ago. The ability to shoot the 3. That was her 14th made 3 on the season.
Patterson-Ricks driving from the wing. Whitaker stepped over to help out, but it didn't matter. Jay Patterson-Ricks, 27 points in that win over St. Bonaventure. That was a thriller game that saw the Golden Griffins go down by 11 with 4:49 to play. Finished up on a 15-2 run that allowed them to win it by a deuce. Danae Beecham back in, replacing Whitaker. You want to try and ease Whitaker back in kind of slowly.
Yeah, they'll watch her minutes here, put her in for short spurts. Let's get her back in game shape after being off the last couple of weeks.
Worth noting, Toledo now a little more shorthanded in the front court. It was announced yesterday that Tyra Karlsson Hanberg, the big junior from Sweden, had left the program. She completed her degree in business administration in the fall semester. Decided she wanted to go back home to Sweden, and of course we wish her nothing but the best going forward. She had gotten a few minutes here or there when Whitaker was not able to play, but we've seen the last of her now in the midnight blue and gold. Sophia Wired, she was so good in the second half of the win over Pacific last time out. 7 points in the third quarter, including a buzzer beater from 60 feet. Davis now 1 for 2 on triple tries. Pugh took the rebound away from Morgan Elliott. Sanderlin, she's got a nice mid-range game, doesn't she?
She does. We've seen her put the ball on the floor, get all the way to the rim. That time, you said it, she squared up and knocked down the mid-range jump shot, averaging 8.5 points a game coming into this one already in 4.
Davis turned that corner so quickly. 5 off the bench already for her.
She plays with such great energy. There's a big lift off that Rocket bench, and obviously consistency has probably been the biggest thing that she's been working on both ends of the floor. Got off to a good start offensively here, but Pugh answers right back.
I was going to say, speaking of good starts offensively, Pugh now with 3 baskets. Morgan Elliott came out to set the screen for Davis. Wired a slow motion spin, had it chopped away by Sanderlin. Canisius can tie it with a 3. Erica Joseph, tough shot, lots of bodies in the way. Sanderlin a miss, and Wired got taken out. Black and Santucci will return for the Rockets, and Tiffany McGee checks in for the first time, a freshman from Brooklyn for the Golden Griffins. There she is. Just 4 total points on the season and looking for her first made shot from the field since the season opener against Youngstown State.
Yeah, talking to Canisius' staff, they're going to go a 9-man rotation on most nights, and a lot of times the back end of that 9-man rotation, players the younger players are going to rotate to give themselves some, a couple of minutes here and there. There's Toledo Barnes knocking down the 3, another one of those young freshmen for Toledo. We'll kind of get some of those younger players some minutes just to get them some experience on the floor, and McGee, one of those players for Canisius.
That's McGee. Didn't get the bounce of the offensive rebound. And Barnes commits the foul as she went after Patterson-Ricks.
I think right now defensively for Toledo, one thing Coach Culp will address is the Griffins' ability to put the ball on the floor, and they're getting deep penetration at the rim, and that time they're going to get a second, third chance opportunity. Need to tighten up there against the dribble drive and on the defensive glass.
So far, it's felt a bit like Toledo's win at Detroit Mercy a couple of weeks back. That was a really high-scoring game. Eventually, Toledo was able to pull away and win 82-64. Launching and hitting the 3 is Dejae Patterson-Ricks.
Well, defender went behind the ball screen, and that gave Patterson-Ricks just a crease to get that shot off, and 45% regularity on the season from the long line.
Beecham got walled off to the corner, and Santucci, she'll drive, finds Beecham again, in and out. So reliable on those. Today, Beecham shooting at a 56% clip for the year. Pugh wide open, hits, and that ties it at 21.
Gianna Pugh, 37% from behind the arc, just drilled that one. Catch and quick release.
Final seconds of the quarter. Toledo won't get a shot up. Good defense at the end by the Golden Griffins. And a lot of pretty good offense, too, in the first 10 minutes. Fireworks aplenty from both teams in front of a good crowd here at Savage Arena. Last game of 2019 is a good one. 21-all between the Rockets and the Golden Griffins. Good defense at the end by the Golden Griffins. And a lot of pretty good offense, too, in the first 10 minutes. Fireworks aplenty from both teams in front of a good crowd here at Savage Arena. Last game of 2019 is a good one. 21-all between the Rockets and the Golden Griffins.
That happens, more people are comfortable, you get more of a rhythm, and consequently we got a 21 ball game here to start the second.
Right now, the really telling statistic, 7 offensive rebounds for Canisius, 5 second chance points. Here's Nakia Black from the top. Missing off the heel. That's knocked into the Golden Griffins bench by Tiffany McGee. It will stay with the Rockets. Worth noting, too, of Toledo's 21 points, 10 have come from the bench. Coach Phillips has already gone 11 deep. Santucci launches and hits. The 4-3 already for the Toledo Rockets. And Mariella Santucci, we talked about it earlier with Nakia Black. If she can reliably knock down threes, that makes this Toledo offense that much more dangerous and hard to handle.
Well, when we talk about Nakia Black, being that with a youthful basketball team, your leading returners have to play well initially, especially early in the season, and that goes with Mariella Santucci as well. And along with Nakia Black, has really picked up her game on the offensive end. 3 of the last 5, she's been in double figures.
An airmail shot from McGee. Going to get Erica Joseph there for a travel. Tiana Pugh back in. She had a terrific first quarter for the Golden Griffins. Already 9 points and 4 rebounds. As we've seen, she can step out and hit threes as well. She knocked down 4 in their win over St. Bonaventure. 4 of 5. That's Sarah Rokkanen, the 5th Toledo player to make a 3 already in this one.
Well, it's contagious. You see the ball go through the net. It kind of gets everybody relaxed, calm, relaxed. You step into your shot with confidence, and all of a sudden, you said it, 5 threes on the board already.
5 of 10 from beyond the arc. They were 5 of 24 against Pacific in Las Vegas 9 days ago. The spinning jumper again from Danielle Sanderlin.
Yeah, she's been outstanding for the Griffins early on in this one. Keep it a minute. That way, that time, the turnaround jump shot. We saw the square up. We saw the ability to put the ball on the floor and finish at the rim.
Lockett thought about the shot but couldn't get squared. Now she can. She's not been a good outside shooter this year. Just 19%. Quenisha Lockett, the freshman from Omaha. Sanderlin again on the inside, working on Beecham. Got space and made her pay. That's now 17 points between Pugh and Sanderlin, the 2 bigs for Canisius.
Again, we're just continue to see the variety in her game. That time, the footwork from their back to the basket, the patience, and the knockdown.
That was a kick. The Griffs, 5 consecutive losses by an average of 18.8 points per game against Fulgate, Albany, Vermont, Stetson, and Appalachian State. Whitaker returns in place of Beecham. And Nakia Black now the first Toledo player to make more than 1 3 on the afternoon.
18 threes for her on the season. Again, she has one of those versatile skill sets on this Rocket basketball team. Really knock down the 3, the mid-range game, and get all the way to the rim as well.
Well defended by Quenisha Lockett. DJ Patterson-Ricks put that off the underside of the backboard, and that's a double dribble on Santucci.
Yeah, I think she just got caught in between of what she wanted to do, whether to continue to push with the dribble or try to hit Ariane Whitaker, who was doing a great job of running the floor, the rim runner in transition, and just lost a handle on it and turned the ball over.
Back to Nakia Black for a moment. It feels like she has gotten better looks from 3 in the second half of non-conference play than she did in the first half. Why might that be?
Well, I think from a scouting report perspective, she hadn't shot the ball real well from behind the arc early in the season. So the scouting report is going to be, back off her, play her dribble drive, and make her prove that she can score consistently from out there. But as of late, she's made teams pay from behind the long line. So you'll see. So I think as you get into league play now, in the last couple of games that teams evaluate in terms of setting up their scouting report, you'll see teams try to take the arc away from her, as well. And the more versatile you can be as a player, the harder you are to guard. And teams can't take everything away. They're going to have to pick 1 or maybe 2 parts of your game and just live with the rest. And she's catching fire, playing really well in the last few ball games. And Toledo certainly needs that moving forward.
And of course, on a day like this, when your team is 6 of 12 from beyond the arc, you can't only worry about Nakia Black knocking them down. Sanderlin had to pick up the dribble further from the basket than she would have wanted to. Such a quick trigger from Patterson-Ricks. Wouldn't go. It's collected by Santucci. Toledo's leading rebounder at 6.2 per game, despite being just 5'6".
Well, we talked about, I think he's taking that page out of Michaela Boyd's book, the longtime point guard here for Toledo the last several years, is she was so good at anticipating the ball or reading the angles or reading where the ball's going to come off the rim and running the ball down. And you said it, you know, the leading rebounder for this basketball team at over 6 a ball game out of that point guard position.
Whitaker on the inside, such an efficient bench scorer for Toledo at 59%. And worth noting, Deshae Patterson-Ricks, that last foul was on her and was her second, so she is on the bench. Shanae Brown has checked in for the Golden Griffins. She has the ball right now, a freshman from Toronto. In fact, her and Erica Joseph went to the same high school up there. Shot clock at 4. A.J. Timbers driving and lost it. Timbers off the bench, a redshirt senior transfer from St. Francis of Pennsylvania. Tatiana Davis buries the 3. 7 in the first half for Toledo, and the lead up to 10.
They're playing with great confidence right now. Nice job by Santucci, just navigating through traffic with the dribble. Put the ball right in the shooting pocket of Davis.
It's a really tough shot from Ziegler. Great D by Nakia Black. There's a hard dribble, much too hard in the end from Tatiana Davis. You like what she's trying to do there.
Well, I like just her wherewithal in terms of, okay, I hit a couple threes. They're going to jam me hard at the arc. My job's to put the ball on the floor and make a play off the dribble. Just the ball got deflected out of bounds, but you like your ability to read the defense and react accordingly.
Scott Hemmer wants the timeout.
Hands are knocking the ball down with a confident stroke.
Billy Barnes
for wherewithal in terms of, okay, I hit a couple threes. They're going to jam me hard at the arc. My job's to put the ball on the floor and make a play off the dribble. Just the ball got deflected out of bounds, but you like your ability to read the defense and react accordingly.
Scott Hemmer wants the timeout.
Hands are knocking the ball down with a confident stroke.
Billy Barnes lost her footing. Nice takeaway by the Griffs. If you're Scott Hemmer, what are you looking for your Canisius team that you haven't seen so far in this quarter? I'm guessing you'd like to see more of that. Finding a way to get it to Gianna Pugh on the low block, some of the Toledo really has not had an answer for.
Yeah, you know, offensively, just continue to probe with the dribble. You've had success getting to the rim with the dribble. That time, the little dump down pass for the finish. But I think you have to go to Pugh and Sanderlin, 2 players that have gotten off to great starts here this afternoon, specifically with Patterson-Ricks on the bench in foul trouble. But on the defensive end against that zone, you know, you gotta get the shooters, and when you extend the zone and shade shooters, that opens up the middle of the floor, which Toledo has exposed. So it's got to pick your poison right now, you know, for the Griffins.
Lexi Lance lost it on the way up. Will stay with Toledo, and 6 on the shot clock. Danielle Sanderlin will return for Canisius. Had a 20-point game against Colgate earlier this year, and down at the Hatter Classic, one of the longest running women's basketball tournaments, in their first game against Stetson, the home school, had 14 points and 15 rebounds. Molly Morgan-Elliott close but no cigar on that 3. Been a good 3-point shooter so far this year at 36%. Doesn't take a ton of them, but is confident from out there.
Yeah, she has a good stroke. We watched her in practice, and she can knock them down as well as anybody on this basketball team. Just her opportunities in games have been limited from behind the stripe.
Shot clock at 5. There goes Brown. The runner didn't get the bounce. Lance with a rebound. It's nice to see her minutes up. She was injured in camp last year and was kind of slow getting acclimated to the college game. She was having to recover while everybody else was learning offensive and defensive principles. Didn't have the touch right there. Davis tried to keep it alive, but grabbed by Anna Sweeney, and then Davis called for the foul.
Yeah, going back to Lexi Lance, she's a great athlete. She runs the floor extremely well. We've seen her rebound the ball well, get She gets off the floor quickly, and you're right. She can add solid minutes off of that bench on the inside. It's really going to bode well because she can guard multiple positions, out of that 4 or 5 spot for Toledo. And she played for a great program, Wadsworth High School in Northeast Ohio, and a lot of big game experience as well. So she's one of they can get her going, and I'll just add to the depth of this club.
Lance in their first game in Vegas against Troy only played 9 minutes but had 4 points and 7 rebounds. Anna Sweeney gets to the free throw line. Another Toledo foul. It's the first on Molly Morgan Elliott. There you see the bump. They went hip to hip as Sweeney attacked.
That's the one thing Toledo's got to get corrected defensively, the ability to guard the dribble one-on-one and not have to help as much. And anytime you're able to do that, they really adds to the potency of your defense because other players can stay home and you make those kick-out passes much more hotly contested. And right now, Canisius done a good job in this opening half of probing with the dribble, getting all the way to the rim for some finishes as well as some open opportunities for teammates on the kick-out.
Black rising up from the elbow. Brown got the rebound. Canisius finding a way to hang in there without DJ Patterson-Ricks on the bench with 2 fouls. Have been for several minutes now. Sandia Ziegler driving baseline. The Euro step around Nakaya Black that it wouldn't hop in for, and it's grabbed by Morgan Elliott. There's Santucci on the run. Stops, kicks. Extra pass from Barnes, and Black had it blocked from behind. That's Ziegler who got up there.
Good defensive play. Again, getting the ball all the way to the rim. Canisius getting back into this one with their leading scorer on the bench. What a move there by Anna Sweeney.
Sweeney, the senior from Erie, PA. Cut by Santucci. Stumbling in the lane, missed the shot. And all of a sudden, Toledo has gone a bit cold. A timeout that Scott Hemmerton did the job. I don't believe Toledo has scored since. Shot clock down to 8 with 2 minutes left until halftime. Sweeney catch and shoot. Yes! Big shot from Anna Sweeney, who had not scored in her previous 3 games, has 6 big points off the bench.
And that's what you need when your leading scorer is down right now in foul trouble. Other players have to step their game up, and she certainly has done that here the last few minutes.
Molly Morgan Elliott, though, has the answer that stops that Canisius run. They had ripped off 8 consecutive points. Brown very nearly traveled, threw it off of Santucci. Canisius did well to keep that alive. This is Timbers. She's got a 3. 43% outside shooter, and Canisius back within 1.
That's her 7th made triple on the season, and that was a good play by Soleil Barnes. Stopped the back cut, just a loose ball scramble, ended up in the hands of Timbers, who knocked it down.
Santucci on the drive, all alone, she missed it. You always expect those to go in. Sweeney pushed it to Timbers, and Canisius, for the first time in this game, has the lead.
Give the Griffins a lot of credit, down double digits, making plays, especially when things are down and out. Maybe that's what they need too, is Patterson-Ricks, who carries so much of the load. Sometimes you rely so much on her.
Sweeney pushed it to Timbers, and Canisius, for the first time in this game, has the lead.
Give the Griffins a lot of credit, down double digits, making plays, especially when things are down and out. Maybe that's what they need too, is Patterson-Ricks, who carries so much of the load. Sometimes you rely so much on her, you get caught standing around watching. Well, with her on the bench, there's nobody to turn to right now for some consistent scoring for this basketball team, and you put more on yourself. Nice job there by Lockett on the dribble drive for Toledo. But all of a sudden, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I got to do my part. And then one person gets it going, another person gets it going, and all of a sudden you got things rolling. And the Griffins certainly do here in the second quarter.
Difference of about a second between game and shot clock. Ziegler, wild shot. Flushed out of the air by Beecham.
That was great communication by Morgan Elliott and Wired on the switch.
Black almost banked it in at the buzzer. No quit in these Canisius Golden Griffins. They were down 10 at one point.
That zone of Canisius, you shot the ball well and you continue to do so. Yeah, I think for Canisius, just keep playing with confidence. You're in this ball game. You're down one. Your leading scorers back on the floor. Other players have stepped up. They're playing with confidence. Just keep doing what you're doing. Give yourself a chance late.
That's the perfect start defensively for Toledo. Mariella Santucci forcing the turnover and forcing Adia Ziegler to Beecham.
That was great communication by Morgan Elliott and Wired on the switch.
Black almost banked it in at the buzzer. No quit in these Canisius Golden Griffins. They were down 10 at one point.
That zone of Canisius, you shot the ball well and you continue to do so. Yeah, I think for Canisius, just keep playing with confidence. You're in this ball game. You're down one. Your leading scorers back on the floor. Other players have stepped up. They're playing with confidence. Just keep doing what you're doing. Give yourself a chance late.
That's the perfect start defensively for Toledo. Mariella Santucci forcing the turnover and forcing Adia Ziegler to foul her. Ziegler went to Cardinal O'Hara High School in Buffalo. One of her teammates there was Summer Hemphill, now at Buffalo. We'll see her in early January here. 9 different Toledo players scored in the first half. They were led by Nakaya Black and Tatiana Davis, who each had 8 points. 5 different Rockets knocked down threes. Dueling turnovers to start as the Rockets give it away. DeJay, Patterson-Ricks lost it. 3 turnovers in the first 40 seconds. Here's Tanea Beecham. Fouled by Ziegler. That's 2 quick ones on her, and now 3 for the game.
It was a nice job by Roken to pick up the loose ball. Had the wherewithal look ahead because Tanea Beecham was streaking down the middle of the floor in full stride. And it forced the foul by Ziegler, and Tanea Beecham gets to go to the free throw line where she's shooting 66% on the season.
Had a flash in my mind for just a split second where I thought she might get up there and throw it down. Beecham is so athletic. She might be the most athletic player that we've seen here at Toledo in our 6-7 years overall of covering University of Toledo basketball. I can't think of anyone more athletic than her, that's for sure.
No, she takes a backseat to nobody, and she's done a great job. Plays with a high motor, high activity level, and she's become more and more consistent, as a player on both ends of the floor this season.
Sweeney had to pick up the dribble. Maybe a blessing in disguise that Ziegler picked up that quick third foul because of how good Sweeney was in the first half as Patterson-Ricks hits the 3, and Canisius now leads by 1.
That's her 23rd made 3 of the season, Patterson-Ricks. That's good defense. That was just better offense. Knocking that 3 down over an extended hand. That's a force there by Quenisha Lockett going into the low post area.
Turnovers piling up. That's a little more than what we expected in the first half. Q launches a line drive that won't go. Both teams with now 2 turnovers each. Nakaya Black left wide open, ring it up. And by the way, that 3 from Patterson-Ricks has been rolled back to a 2.
Speaking of staying hot, shooting the basketball, Nakaya Black, her 19th triple on the season. That was from behind the men's line as she was able to step into it. Good feed and find by her teammate.
She was going to work on Rokinen. She traveled.
It's good lateral movement by Sarah Rokinen down in that low block area. Didn't bite on the drop step, the initial drop step. Moved her feet laterally, took the contact and forced the travel call. And for Toledo, I think it's important, especially here in the third quarter. Something that's really hurt them is they give up a sizable run that gets them behind double figures in the third quarter. Now, they've made some big runs in the fourth to get back into games, pulled out a couple wins against Pacific and Belmont specifically, but in other games like Duquesne, who's an excellent basketball team, They made big runs to cut it back, and they lose by a possession or two. Avoid that big run, and then when you make your run, you get some separation.
Anna Sweeney with her second three, a new season high for her. She has 9 points. Black. Long rebound. Beecham had it stripped. Scooped up by Rokanen, and Toledo can set it up again. A fresh 20-second shot clock. Guarding Nakia Black a little bit closer now. Tried to throw that through traffic, and that was only ever going one way. Picked up by Erica Joseph. Patterson-Ricks. Rokanen didn't challenge the shot. Santucci pulls down the rebound. 5 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Senior point guard, there she is setting up Beecham.
Yeah, good job. Run the floor. Rokanen, the touch pass over to Beecham, getting rewarded for running the floor. Great matchup here. Quenisha Lockett against Patterson-Ricks.
Sanderlin kind of a loose dribble, but nobody back there to scoop it up for Toledo. Shot clock down to 10. Sweeney thought about the really deep three. Now Joseph attacks, missed the shot, smashed out of bounds by Nakia Black. 1 second to shoot. Marianne Whitaker will come in for Toledo, and A.J. Timbers enters for Canisius. Timbers had 5 off the bench in the first half. Got to get one up quickly. Hugh, shot clock violation.
It's good defense, good communication by the Rockets defensively there. Sarah Rokanen contested that shot. The Rockets come down the floor on the offensive end. I think right now they're overpassing a little bit offensively, specifically when they put the ball on the floor. Sometimes they got a mid-range jump shot that they can take. They're trying to thread the needle in traffic.
Whitaker rejected by Pugh, and then off of Whitaker out of bounds.
I think Toledo's going to increase some pressure here, try to speed this game up, something that worked extremely well for them in that comeback against Pacific, where they were down 16 in the third quarter. Increased the tempo, got them back in the ballgame, got into a rhythm. They were able to come all the way back and get a win.
Patterson-Ricks goes by Santucci. Rokanen was there to cut her off, but the pass was kind of a weak one across the paint. Lockett, one end to the other for the layup.
Nice job, Quenisha Lockett, just probing with the dribble through traffic. Oh, almost got a steal there on the back end.
Hugh will drive. A lot of contact, nothing there, and Nakia Black saved it, and then Sweeney reached across Mariella Santucci. Back and forth, and back again here at Savage Arena. Fit it in as we can as we go along.
Stay tuned.
Nakia Black, a corner three on the way. Got it. That's her 4th of the day. Give her 14 big points.
Well, she's capable of stringing together 4 days, like you mentioned last year. At 6 versus Bowling Green in Ohio, and 5 against Ball State. So she's in a great rhythm right now, and that bodes well for Toledo here, not only today, but moving forward.
Timbers on the drive, tried to bounce that to Pugh. Thought she'd be across the key. She was not.
Yeah, Pugh tried to move without the basketball to create an opening against the defender, and as she relocated, Timbers just they were not on the same page.
That's 7 turnovers in this quarter for Canisius. Sophia Wired. Pull-up J goes. Wired with her first points of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's her strength, the mid-range jump shot. Nice job by Nakia Black. Teams are going to collapse on her in the middle of that zone. She found Wired on the weak side.
You don't see a ton of point guards that do not shoot the three, do you? Wired has only attempted 2 on the season. Sanderlin. That's a mismatch. It's wired on her. She pushed off. Offensive foul.
Nice job by Sophia Wired there. Again, moving the feet laterally, using the baseline as an extra defender. Got the push off on her behalf. See here, ignored the fake. Takes a hit right in the two, right in the middle of the chest. Bam. Anytime a defender takes the square, you're going to get the call more times than not.
And Toledo calls a timeout. 3:41 remaining in this third quarter. The Rockets outscore one of the best and biggest fan bases in the country, not just at the mid.
Takes a hit right in the two, right in the middle of the chest. Bam. Anytime a defender takes the square, you're going to get the call more times than not.
And Toledo calls a timeout. 3:41 remaining in this third quarter. The Rockets outscore one of the best and biggest fan bases in the country, not just at the mid-major level, but all the way around. I've enjoyed an entertaining matchup this afternoon. A Canisius team that has not played like a 1-7 squad so far today. They forced a turnover, down by 8, trying to climb back in it. They had an answer when Toledo went up 10 in the first half. See if they can counter punch here. Anna Sweeney has had a very good game. Jay Patterson-Ricks, as Davis trying to punch it away, she picks up her second.
Tatiana Davis is a versatile defender on the perimeter, very quick, and she's getting caught flat-footed against Patterson-Ricks. It's a easier said than done in terms of the task at hand, but you try to keep her in front, make her shoot over the top of you.
Sweeney had to pick up the dribble. Patterson-Ricks launches and hits. The Jay Patterson-Ricks, her fourth three of the game. She's got 14 points. Golden Griffins back to within 5. Whitaker drew the double. She traveled.
Yeah, she drugged that pivot foot.
That'll get Tanea Beecham right back into the game. Ariella Santucci will return as well. And Quenisha Lockett as well, replacing Tatiana Davis. Quenisha Lockett, we were talking with Jim Heller, longtime Toledo women's basketball radio voice. Been so impressed with what Quenisha Lockett has given Toledo over the last few weeks, as she really seems to be finding her way in the college game.
They really thought out west against Troy and Pacific really could have maybe turned the corner a little bit from getting acclimated to college basketball, and had some really good ball games down there for this team.
Black inside for Beecham. And a quiet game for Beecham, 7 points. It's only taken 4 shots. She's not somebody who shoots a ton, despite averaging 9 points and just under 5 boards a game. That's Timbers going right to the freshman Molly Morgan Elliott. Out of bounds off of Beecham.
I think today at Beecham too. I think you're just looking for some consistency and efficiency on a night in, night out basis from her, and she's been able to do that better and better as this season has gone on. And she had 22 points, her career high at Detroit on the road, which is a good sign. And not that you expect 22 out of her each and every night, but again, being right around double figures, getting about half a dozen rebounds a game, and would bode well for her in this club, moving forward. Nice job, Sanderlin again. Sanderlin is one that averages 8.5 coming into this one, now has 10. For the Griffins, excuse me.
Molly Morgan Elliott missing on the 3. Santucci got taken out. She's in a bit of discomfort.
Came crashing in from the weak side there and went over the back of one of the Griffins there, and she got the worst of it. See, Morgan Elliott takes the shot there, and here comes Santucci. Caught timbers there.
I've been thinking Golden Grizzlies, too, by the way, all afternoon long. You get accustomed to seeing Oakland come here and play, and we don't see Canisius terribly often. In fact, it's the first meeting between these two teams since 1988. Game that Toledo won 78-73 in Buffalo. Sweeney with another three for Canisius. She's got 12 points, 10 above her season average.
Well, she's been outstanding. Like you said, 10 above her average there. Averaging 1 bucket a game, but filling up the stat sheet here this afternoon. She took a shot there, too.
She is shooting in Toledo's face at one end and took a shot to the face at the other.
So the referees are going to take a look at this one, I believe, at the monitor.
She's indicating there what happened to her. Incidental contact is the ruling.
Tell that to Sweeney.
It's never accidental when you get a shot to the face. And we will get back to the all-decade team, I promise. Under a minute left in the quarter. Lockett driving and dishing. Santucci now will attack. Stepping into the lane and banking it home.
Good patience by Santucci. Good footwork to create the opening.
Mariela Santucci, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal as she poked the entry pass away.
What a great individual effort by Mariela Santucci.
Shot clock off at the end of the quarter. See if the Rockets can get a good look. This will be a great look. Rokinen in the corner, hits it. Sarah Rokinen second, and Toledo's 10th of the game. That ties a season high.
Mariela Santucci froze the defender. One had to play two. Santucci finds Rokinen, drills the triple try. Toledo up 7 heading to the fourth. And I think when you look at the point guard, Nama Shafir led this team to a WNIT defender. One had to play two. Santucci finds Rokinen, drills the triple try. Toledo up 7 heading to the fourth. And I think when you look at the point guard, Nama Shafir led this team to a WNIT championship.
It could only be one point guard.
Ooh, steal here and score.
Ziegler did get the bounce. Didn't see a lot of her in that third quarter. She picked up 2 quick fouls and now back in the game, her first points of it.
I think my off-guard slotted Inma Finagera, the job she did in her career. Dan Bravo Harriet, sharpshooter from the perimeter. And I'm going to go, good job by Santucci. I'm going to go two solid posts. Yolanda Richardson, the all-time shot blocker here in women's basketball history. And then Kayla McIntyre, just graduated a year ago. The job that she did, how efficient she was in that low block area. Averaging about 16 points a game, shooting at about a 60% clip.
How did that go for Danielle Sanderlin? That was kind of an awkward shot. It barely got 10 feet off the ground, but it went in. Canisius within 5. Jan Bravo Harriet as well on the wing. A very good outside shooter and really an indispensable leader in her last couple of years at Toledo. Quenisha Lockett now with 8 points.
That is Bravo Harriet's versatility too. Predominantly a three-point shooter only her first couple of years. Then she created the ability to put the ball on the floor. She posted up as well at the end of her career. Did an outstanding job.
I'm not sure I've seen anybody take more charges at Toledo than she did, especially those last couple of seasons. Third foul on Mariela Santucci.
And with the double post of Richardson and McIntyre, number one, there's nobody that's going to stop them from the low block area. You're not going to get many second chance points either. And then with Yolanda Richardson's ability to block shots, will be tough to score on.
There goes Sanderlin. Created space. Turnaround jumper not there. Then some pretty good reserves, too. I think you can find a spot on the bench for someone like Michaela Boyd. Courtney Ingersoll, indispensable three-point shooter on that WNIT championship team, and a color commentator of mine for a year on Toledo women's basketball broadcasts.
Outstanding three-point shooter her final season. Melissa Goodall as well, a versatile
through the legs of Danae Beecham.
But Melissa Goodall was on the NIT championship team was a 4-5 type player who could knock down the mid-range jump shot. And how about Janice Montacana, the versatility that she provided as well. Brittany Harris, I wrote her name down too for that. She had an outstanding senior season carrying this ball club. So outstanding contributions. And if you asked to go a third team, you could figure that one out too.
Brene Harris had the first triple-double in Toledo women's basketball history. I think it came in the MAC tournament against Wright State and the great Taylor Mingo when they came to town. Jay Patterson-Ricks, that rattled out. That's going to go down as a held ball. Arrow will keep it with Canisius.
Let's see here. I think Quenisha Lockett, see here, going up strong there. And
nobody held it for very long.
A lot of bodies flying. It's one of those officially, it's got to be something, right? And then, let's go with the held ball and go to the arrow and figure it out. Oh, that's just three competitors just going after a loose ball and nobody at fault.
Whitaker back in for Beecham. Ziegler went baseline. Sweeney. That wouldn't go. Tough angle, almost banked it in. Nakaya Black ripped down the rebound. Lost it. Picked up by Patterson-Ricks.
Good job. Good back pursuit there by the Griffins. Great in that turnover.
You talk about a Toledo third team for the last decade. I think you could maybe find a place for Mariella Santucci, because no matter who's on the floor, I think you'd want her involved in some capacity. Someone who is just as tough-minded as she is. Not someone who has done a ton of scoring in her Toledo career, but the team is better with her on it.
Well, when you look at her, when you look at what she's done, I mean, she led the Mid-American Conference in assists a season ago. We talked about her being the leading rebounder on this basketball team this year. It's not, scoring's important for sure, but what you bring into the floor each and every night from a totality or a complete game standpoint, she does it better than most.
We'll stay with Canisius as A.J. Timbers returns and Sanderlin gets a breather. Sanderlin, someone that Canisius is going to need on the floor. You would think the last 4 or 5 minutes, if they aren't going to come back in this one, she's been very effective as a mid-range scorer today. Ziegler couldn't find the range. Toledo trying to close non-conference play with wins in 4 out of 6. Want to take a 5-6 record into the Mid-American Conference in the new year. Another Toledo turnover. Oof, such a quick change of direction from Patterson-Ricks. And got the jumper to go. 16 for her.
Yeah, we're starting to see her as her minutes have increased consecutively on the floor. The ability to knock down the three, to step back, to put the ball on the floor and get all the way to the rim there.
Santucci bouncing off of Pugh. Pugh's second foul. Beg pardon, foul went on Sweeney, not Pugh. Mariella Santucci at the line, a 64% foul shooter. Very few free throws have been shot in this game. In fact, Canisius just 1 of 2 and Toledo 1 of 3. And not out of character for Canisius to be in a game in which very few fouls are committed. Coming into today, they had fouled just 116 times on the season. That's the 4th fewest in the country.
A lot of that has to do with playing the zone, whether it's the 1-2-2 or 2-3 variety. You kind of keep yourself in better position with the basketball.
Patterson-Ricks driving from the wing and danced off the top of the backboard somehow.
She had an angle there too, got by the defender. She must have just lost that going up. Toledo avoids a potential basket there. Griffiths back that 1-2-2 zone.
away, but backed up by Santucci. Time to set it up again. Good hands from Whitaker. Count the basket. One more coming at the line. Great feet, great hands, big bucket.
Yeah, great hands. You said it, the strength to corral the basketball, and then the footwork. You see here, the step through, gets to her left hand, puts it up and down and in, and big basket by the Rockets. See if Ariane Whitaker can put a free throw in here to make it the old-fashioned three-point play.
No post player wants to have to pick a ball up off the deck and do something with it in the low post, but she did that well. Hit the free throw, too. Just a 54% foul shooter. A lot of confusion. I think Canisius thinks she has a second free throw. She doesn't. The basket was good, so the lead back up to 9 for the Rockets. Funny how sometimes everybody can lose track of something like that. Sanderlin is back in, going at Whitaker. That's terrific defense. And the short jumper won't go for Patterson-Ricks. Black. Yep. 5 threes on the day for Nakia Black, and Toledo with their biggest lead of the game. And a foul on Quenisha Lockett, her first, Toledo's third. Toledo trying to break it open here in the fourth. Habaday, Nakia Black now 17 points. Lead as a dozen for the Rockets.
Dutchman
yeah,
from the Indiana Pacers.
Yes, the Red Foxes, I believe Marist is, right? Something like a foul on Quenisha Lockett, her first, Toledo's third. Toledo trying to break it open here in the fourth. Habaday, Nakia Black now 17 points. Lead as a dozen for the Rockets.
Dutchman
yeah,
from the Indiana Pacers.
Yes, the Red Foxes, I believe Marist is, right? Something like that, anyway. Canisius women's basketball doesn't have a lot of great history or tradition. They've been to the NCAA tournament once, the WNIT once. Men's team, a bit more tradition, including an NCAA tournament berth in 1996. You remember who the head coach of Canisius was at that time?
I do not. Educate me.
That'd be one John Beeline. Canisius was his first Division I coaching job.
Probably came to the forefront in people's minds of the job he did at West Virginia, and then on obviously at the University of Michigan, and now head coach of the Cavaliers.
Canisius, and then Richmond, and then West Virginia, Michigan, and the Cavs. Hopefully he'll be with the Cavs for a couple of years, and Dan Gilbert has the patience that he hasn't exactly been known for as the owner of that franchise. Big block there from Ariane Whitaker on Sanderlin.
And that's what she brings back into the lineup, is that interior presence inside to not let easy uncontested layups go without being contested.
A.J. Timbers now with 7 points. Whitaker third all-time at UT Chattanooga in blocks with 109. She's a native of Cincinnati and a grad transfer. This year only for Toledo. Tatiana Davis. Missed it off the heel. Molly Morgan Elliott trying to keep it alive. She does. It's a tie-up as Sweeney came in to challenge it, and Ziegler there as well. The arrow will keep it with Toledo. It's
a great job by Morgan Elliott on the weak side, competing for that basketball. Saves the possession for Toledo. Teammates appreciating it.
Tatiana Davis, some of that especially this year, has always been kind of demonstrative. Whether she's in the starting lineup or coming off the bench, she makes a shot and she's real excited about it. Makes a defensive stop, she's real excited about it. Someone else does anything and she's excited about it. You love having a teammate with that kind of energy that gives you that level of non-stop support. And how about the support that Ariane Whitaker has given Toledo off the bench?
Great job, great screen roll action, a nice pocket pass by Nakia Black. Ariane Whitaker gets to her strong hand, finishes it. She's happy about it. She likes being back on the floor. Had some time off due to the injury. Now she's back, getting into a groove, and the bench loved it. If you can see the reaction of the bench, they loved it. They love having her back on the floor, aiding their cause.
And she's the kind of player, too, that coaches really like in the sense that she doesn't have to play a ton of minutes to be effective. Ziegler couldn't bank it home. Sophia Wyatt grabs the rebound. To that point, Whitaker averages 5.6 points and 4.4 rebounds a game in just 16 minutes. Today, she's been on the floor for just 11 minutes and has 8 points. Wyatt left open, hits the three, just her second of the season.
She's giving great minutes off the bench as well. Knocks down the three there. Saw the mid-range game earlier. She plays a great floor game overall. Gets you within the offense that time. Knocking down the three ball. Sophia Wyatt from distance.
The 30-second timeout taken by Scott Hemmer. Replaced longtime. Grabs the rebound. To that point, Whitaker averages 5.6 points and 4.4 rebounds a game in just 16 minutes. Today, she's been on the floor for just 11 minutes and has 8 points. Wyatt left open, hits the three, just her second of the season.
She's giving great minutes off the bench as well. Knocks down the three there. Saw the mid-range game earlier. She plays a great floor game overall. Gets you within the offense that time. Knocking down the three ball. Sophia Wyatt from distance.
The 30-second timeout taken by Scott Hemmer. Replaced longtime Canisius.
High-fiving, picking each other up, going through the drills and concepts that they're going over in practice, and you can see that on the bench there with Wyatt knocking down the three.
Patterson-Ricks. Kind of
plays a great floor game overall. Gets you within the offense that time. Knocking down the three ball. Sophia Wyatt from distance.
The 30-second timeout taken by Scott Hemmer. Replaced longtime Canisius.
High-fiving, picking each other up, going through the drills and concepts that they're going over in practice, and you can see that on the bench there with Wyatt knocking down the three.
Patterson-Ricks. Kind of a quiet fourth quarter. Ziegler, kind of a wild shot. Got it back, and Whitaker fouled her. Get this. Toledo in the second half is shooting 73% from the floor. 14 of 18. 5 of 8 from 3. That means from inside the arc, they're 9 of 10.
A lot of the shots have come at point-blank range at the rim. We saw Whitaker, at the rim twice. We saw Tanea Beecham at the rim as well. And when you can shoot the ball that well from the perimeter like they've done today, it stretches the defense, it creates gaps, it creates one-on-one opportunities inside. And Toledo's been able to exploit that to a high level.
There's a look at the rim. Tatiana Davis. She's in double figures now with 10. Patterson-Ricks gets that one to drop through. Now 18 points for her.
Right at her average. It's just a tough guard each and every night for any opponent. You jam her tight on the arc. She's got the quick first step to get by you. You back off. She drills a three with a quick release. Outstanding player. Quarter when they were down 10, they were able to come back and took a short-term 1-point lead. So there's a lot of things to build on here for this ball club, even though they might not come down with a W. Tatiana Davis knocking down the timeout for substitution purposes here.
And Mariah Copeland is going to check in. So Coach Culliff now officially emptying the bench. Mariah Copeland, the only player that had not played today.
It's great for this basketball team. Another, incremental improvement throughout the non-conference schedule. Played some outstanding teams. They're having great years up to this point. But you didn't always get the result you wanted in terms of a win-loss. But you're starting to see this team gel with their veteran players playing well. They got some, the freshmen are getting acclimated here. Sophia Wyatt's been productive. Quenisha Lockett, so Morgan Elliott, Soleil Barnes. They've all contributed here this afternoon. And You know, and playing well here at home is important because you always want to take care of your home court. But I believe this is only their second win at home, you know, in the non-conference schedule. They went 2-2 in their last road trip, and get a big win here this afternoon heading into league play.
Other win here came over Belmont. That was an overtime in a very different game. 53-48 the final there.
Down, son. Go forward.
Hugh on the inside, first points in a while for her. Big thanks to those that made this broadcast possible. Jimmy and Frank Marshall, Matt Loafman, Chris Sitterlet, Jacob Stutz, Chris Mazarin, Izzy Dennis, Derek Peterson, Stephen Estes, Elvita Buenrostro. Our director and technical director is Greg Smith. Our executive producer at the University of Toledo is John Idemiller. Heck of a way for Toledo women's basketball to sign off from 2019. They win it 83-65 over Canisius.
Well, we talked about coming into the second half. Offense wasn't the issue for Toledo here this afternoon. They continue to shoot the basketball extremely well, knocking down 13 threes, but they had to be better defensively. I think they certainly were that. They were on pace. Canisius was on pace for 76 points at halftime, and Toledo was able to cut that down to 65, right around